Hey, Happy New Year to you all, and welcome back to another unboxing video. I kind of did the first one of these for a laugh, which was the Mobile One-Step of Yes Fragile. Wasn't the first one-step I've got, but I was becoming so damned impressed by them, and Yes being a fantastic band, one of my all-time favourites. I just that tipped me over the edge. But with getting on for 2,000 views now. I did the not Monk, Mingus. Did a Mingus one maybe only a month and a bit ago, and that's had tons and tons and tons of views. So people, you clearly seem to quite like these. So if you do, like, comment, subscribe, whatever. That's what people say on YouTube, isn't it, these days? Anyway, on to the subject of this review. Or this unboxing, whatever. Unboxing, unbagging, unpacking. So, here we are. This arrived on Christmas Eve. It's now 2nd of January. And what with Christmas and, I would say family commitments, but everyone's in bloody lockdown or tier whatever. We're in tier 4. Actually, we're in tier 4 now, so basically can't go out. And so sitting down and doing an unboxing video and playing some fantastic vinyl seems like a bloody good plan to me. Anyway, yet another purchase from Mains Cables R Us. My friend David Block runs that company. That's the online version or online wing of Brook Audio, which is this high-end hi-fi store. And David's very good at getting stuff. If there's something interesting out there, he will get it in. I believe these ones aren't even available in the US yet. You don't know what it is. So I will continue with the story. But before I open this, I'm going to, as I say, continue with the story. So I'll put this down, not on the floor because I've got underfloor heating. That wouldn't be cool. Put it down there. So here we go. If we rewind back to the middle 80s, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Couldn't Stand the Weather. Now, back in the middle 80s, I'd never heard of Stevie Ray Vaughan, to be perfectly honest. I think this is his second album. And I've only heard 3 or 4 of his albums anyway. He sadly passed away a couple of years ago, was it? I think. And I was working at Celestion at the time as a sales rep. I was in my 20s. And I remember doing hi-fi shows. And the PR guy we had at the time, Richard Allen, product manager, he kind of was sort of in charge of the shows. And I'm pretty sure he came up with this. And anyway, it just blew my mind. It's kind of it's Texas kind of blues rock. There's a good deal of there's a good deal of groove in it. There's almost a little bit of funk. The title track, I think, there's a kind of easy groove, funky kind of feel to it. I'm definitely not a heavy rocker, not at all. So of the rock guitar, I would say my favourite is I'm just not a Guitar Hero kind of guy. As you might guess, Zappa is an absolute hero. Other heroes of mine, Page, obviously, of the sort of the bluesy kind of style. Hendrix, Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan. He's maybe not as big as those guys in many respects, but really, really, really accomplished. And apart from the guitar playing, which is just fantastic, and it's kind of the overall feel of this album. It is so easy to listen to. It's very melodic. It's very, very, very kind of, it's kind of got an easy Ozy groove. It's just nice. By the way, Easy Ozy is my favourite coffee brand. Cheers. And I can remember this. So this was released in 1985, I think, in 1983, I think, I can't remember. This particular copy is copy I've had since 95. I've already got this on release, basically. This company I used to do some PR work for Absolute Analog back then, and they did a small limited number of pressings, and I've only got this one, and I've got Bob Dylan Blood on the tracks. Well, I say I've probably got a lot more, but those are the ones I remember. And they are superb sounding pieces of vinyl, really superb. But this is an amazing recording, absolutely amazing. Whether even on CD, it sounds fantastic. I challenge anyone not to like it, really. And whilst the whole album is exceptionally good, there's one song, Tin Pan Alley, second track on side 2, and it is just it's a legend, really. It's awesome. Back in the 80s and the 90s, you couldn't go to a hi-fi show and not hear this track playing somewhere or the other. It's just absolutely stunning. And anyway, like I said, this has been my preferred playing copy for, well, it's 25, 26 years now. So when I learned that this was next up or soon up on the One-Step series from Mobile Fidelity, well, on the strength of the ones I've bought so far, and I have to say, as a postscript to those, because obviously in an unboxing video I haven't played them, but I have now, and that Mingus particularly, it was absolutely everything I hoped for. It's stunning, just mind-blowing. I don't think you will never need another copy of. If you buy an album on one of these pressings, you will never need another copy. I mean, they're not cheap over here in the UK. £180, I believe, 160, 180, something like that. It's a lot of money, but I think it's 160. It's a lot of money, but how much do you want to pay for something that's a one-off that will be the best ever, and you'll never need another one? I mean, I've got plenty of records I've paid, sort of high tens, and gone out and bought another one. It's simple as that. So, and there are other things coming soon, which I just cannot resist buying, frankly. And those are subjects of new videos. Anyway, here we are. Slightly less packing than previous from MCRU, but this was rushed out before Christmas to get to me for Christmas kind of job. So I ain't complaining. We'll see when we get in there, as long as it's all survived intact, because that's ultimately, at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters. So here we go, nice, waterproof bag, DPD. It was delivered by DPD, who are really, really efficient. When they're going to come. They give you an hour's delivery window. It's like me, you hate waiting in for deliveries. Pet hate of mine. Absolutely hate it. And nothing worse than getting to 10 to 6 in the evening, and your delivery still hasn't come, and then you finally get a message saying, "Oh, sorry," or worse still, "Oh, we tried to deliver and you're out," and you think, "No, I bloody well wasn't." Anyway, enough of that. So let's have a look. Plenty of tape, plenty of cardboard. It is all looking very, very, very good, because none of the cardboard is squashed anywhere remotely near the edges. And here we are, absolutely fine. So I can see they've done 7,000. They've made 7,000 of these, and this is number 4,771. Jolly good. Ultradisc One-Step. I don't know how many I've got of these by now, but I must admit, the fact that they are best part of an inch wide, the spine, once you start getting a few, your record shelving doesn't half fill up. But anyway, hell, they sound amazing, so that's what has to be done. Right, let's open her up and see what's in it. Let me grab this scalpel and slit the plastic nicer. And so one of the things about this, I mean, sometimes I buy records that sound, you know, mediocre, but the music is phenomenal. Let me think of, I don't know, some of the Hendrix, for instance, some of the Genesis. There's an awful lot of music like that where the recordings and mastering, whatever, it's not the best in the world, but the music is just mind-blowing and you have to have it. And then there's other records where they're kind of like a hi-fi tour de force, but the music's decidedly lacking. I won't go into names, but there's plenty of there's plenty of that out there. It's stunningly recorded, but and it's sort of, I mean, I've got quite a lot of that stuff because it is really, really good to listen to and just to hear what is capable. And put your system through the paces and put through its paces and all the rest of it. And then there's some stuff where the music's good but challenging, not exactly easy listening, but it sounds fabulous. And then there's music where the music's good, really accessible, really kind of easy to listen to. You can put it on any time of the day or night, and it's a phenomenal recording. And that is without a doubt where this sits. So if there's an album that you're going to play a lot, and as I say, Bob Dylan's Blood on the Tracks would have been another one of these. I don't know why I didn't get that one, but there we go. I didn't. Wish I had, because it's one of my favourite Bob Dylan albums. But anyway, I kind of there's the cellophane, this little Ultradisc One-Step logo on, and I know I've talked about these before, but I'll tell you briefly again. Same as all the others. It's the picture is kind of embossed in. It's set back from the cover, which is this lovely kind of matte finish within the gold leaf. Well, I guess not leaf, gold leaf, but gold. Well, it might be, but I very much doubt it. The gold on there. So really lovely. So let's open her up and have a look. This piece of foam. Keep everything nice. And here we have the familiar one-step exclamation sheet. Now again, for those who haven't seen my other videos or don't know about this, I will explain, because there is a very good reason why these cost what they do. So this is a kind of a normal record making process. So you start off with the source material, your master tape, typically. That will be cut to lacquer by a mastering engineer, cutting engineer. And the lacquer is a positive, so it's cut on a lathe. And you can play lacquers, but you'll only be able to play them once or twice, and then they're absolutely knackered. So you cut your lacquer, and then you take a mould from that, and that's so you can the lacquer is like a positive. It's like an LP. The father, they call it here, is a negative. It's a mould, and from the father you can then make a batch, if you like, of mothers, and a big album you typically will. And then from each mother you make the stampers, and you can again make a batch of stampers from each mother. So let's say, for argument's sake, you've got your master tape. Play it once, cut your lacquer. You've got one lacquer. Create a father. I think you can only do that once, really. I don't think you can make more than one mould from a lacquer. But anyway, you've got your father. Argument's sake, say you make 10 mothers. From each mother, if you make, say, 10 stampers, you've got 100 stampers. And if each stamper can make 10,000 LPs, that's a million LPs. So you can see how it works. Now, this is the one-step process. So master tape makes the lacquer exactly the same as before, within the caveat that these are made at 45 RPM, and they're remasters, they're re-engineered, they're using the very, very best equipment out. So you make your lacquer. They call this a convert, but it's effectively the master, the father rather, and from that you press your vinyl. So you've kind of cut out the father and the mother stage. So it's just lacquer, which is the cut, make a mould, press your vinyl. You can see how many stages you go out. Now, of course, if we use the same, make 10 of those, make 10 of those, make 10,000 of those, gets you 1 million. You got one of them, you can probably make 10,000, but they don't, they're making 7,000. Just to make sure you don't get one at the arse end of the run and it's less than optimal. So that's why there is a limited number. That's it. Boom, gone. Once they're done, they're done. They can't go back to the mother and make a whole bunch more stampers. They can't go back to the father and make a whole bunch more mothers. That's it. So it's very, very, very limited edition. And the quality is, and having heard a few, believe me, it's not a subtle difference. It really isn't. There's a few other companies making one-step pressings, and it's just, the process makes sense. It really does. There's no question. And because it's, you get far less copies from the production run, it's inevitably going to cost more. Plus, everything else about the production and the packaging of this means it really is, as good as it's. Frankly, it is as good as you're going to get. It does tell you here all about how they make the converts and look, they're rinsing them with deionized water, blah 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 blah. Mounted into a tank with nickel anodes at 96 degrees, blah 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 blah. Loads and loads and loads and loads of detail about the production. And one thing I also wanted to say is that Mobile Fidelity, along with an awful lot of the very, very, very best record studios, mastering houses, record production facilities in the world, and there is a reference to that here. They use equipment by, in fact, I'll read this out. Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab gratefully acknowledges and thanks these individuals and companies for their technical support and expertise. First on the list, Tim de Paravicini, Pass Labs, Lipinski Sound, and Sound Application. Now, Tim de Paravicini, God bless his soul, he passed away last month. He was a friend. He is a friend, was a friend. He's a genius. He's a very individual character. His tape machine modifications and setting up, re-engineering, microphone preamps, compressors, mixing desks, all sorts of, just a whole manner of stuff. There's so many people I know, so many massive names use Tim's stuff. Saw a documentary on Dave Gilmour once, and he was sat on Astoria, his recording boat studio, or his recording studio boat, and over his shoulder there's just a stack of Tim de Paravicini's products in racks, and I believe he's got 2 Tim de Paravicini 24-track Studers wired together to make a 48-track. I know Paul McCartney has one, at least some to Tim de Paravicini stuff. It's all over the world in the very, very, very best places, and so he's kind of technical consultant or whatever. You certainly would help, advise, tune up their stuff. So back to the thing. This is typically what we get. This is a reproduction of the album cover, And all Mobile Fidelity releases have this original master recording flag across the top, which is really nice. I mean, I got my first Mobile Fidelities back in the 80s, early 80s. I've got quite a lot. Anyway, as we're on 45 RPM, which of course gives you far better fidelity. The needle's traveling through the groove at a faster rate. The grooves can be spaced slightly. The groove pitch can be slightly farther apart because you aren't trying to fit as much music on each side. And they just, 45 RPM 12-inch singles always sounded pretty good. And these sound damn good. I mean, I do find it a fag having to get up 3 times during an LP to change sides rather than once, but it's just, it's one of those things you have to do, and it really, they really do sound good. I can't wait to get this on the turntable. It will be going on. I've actually just played the other one, just played this one just to remind myself, and it sounds phenomenal. So I probably haven't played it in a couple of years, to be honest. I mean, thousands of records. I don't play things endlessly. Anyway, so inside these beautiful sleeves, there's 2 of them. Really nice, thick, solid card. Now, I've mentioned this before. I'll mention it again because I just think it's a neat trick. There's where the card's folded here, you've obviously got a double layer of card. Now, I notice again that Mofi haven't done this, so maybe they've changed. And I think this is a retrofit mod I will do. But they ship the record. I'll just pop that down there. So inside there is another plain piece of folded card. Now, previously this might have advertising for other Mobile Fidelity stuff on it. But what it would also have is one of these sections would be cut away along the top and the bottom here, basically to match the flap of this here, so that there was an equal thickness of card on either side of the vinyl, which is really effective against warping. So it's, I mean, I can't see, well, I plan on selling these anyway, but should I want to, I can't see that cutting that away with a scalpel and a steel rule will make any difference to the value whatsoever, because until the last 2 issues from Mobile Fidelity, I believe they all were like that. Anyway, so within there comes these original master sleeves, which are just really lovely, very, very, very non-scratching, anti-static, archival quality sleeves. Keep your records in pristine condition, and then here we are. Here is the record itself. Now, there is something about these one-steps that I don't know. I mean, it's because it's a cut that's been turned into a mold and then pressed, and possibly because the vinyl is such good quality, and it's just the I mean, the groove pitch doesn't look massive there. But what it does, you can actually, I mean, honestly, just to look at this, it just looks crisper. It looks more like a kind of a lacquer wood. It looks more like it's been cut than molded, if you like, because that's, effectively, these are molded, but it's 2 molds, 1 mold from the lacquer to make the convert, as they call it, and then this is pressed from there. Pressed obviously is molded. Anyway, here we go. So side 2, look at that, Voodoo Child, Slight Return, a whole side taken up for that track. Fantastic. It's not my favourite track on the album. It's very, very, very good. I think my favourite track's actually Couldn't Stand the Weather. The title track is just, There's just a real fabulous groove and a funk to it. Funk's maybe going a bit far, but it's kind of funky. It's really, really, really cool. And then Timpan Alley, as I've already said, is just something else. Now, another thing about this Mobile Fidelity, the vinyl they use is just exceptional. And they've always used exceptional vinyl, Mo-Fi. But I believe this is even better than previous. But looks like a normal black LP here. Now, I don't know if you can see, if I put that there up against the camera, I don't know, can you see me through it? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Depends. What about if I do hold my coffee up? Can you see that? This is not transparent, it's not translucent, it is just black vinyl, but it's so damn pure. I mean, I'm holding that up and with good light here, I can read original master sleeves, Mobile Fidelity sound outs, Mo-Fi, archival quality, non-scratching, anti-static, archival quality. I can read the inner sleeve through this LP. It's kind of like kind of looks like those security windows you get on a fancy car, where you can see through, but they're kind of black, if you know what I mean. Well, you can see out, but they're kind of black. And it's just exceptional quality vinyl. So it's exceptionally quality vinyl. It's cut at 45 RPM, so it takes up 4 sides for the whole album. It's made losing 2 of the 4 steps. Would you say 4 steps? Make the mold from the lacquer, because you've got to make the lacquer anyway, so you can forget that. So make the mold from the lacquer, make the mother from the mold, the father, make the stamper, press the record. So that's 4 steps. Make the mold, press the record. So yeah, it's kind of, they call it 1 step, but it's kind of 2 step. Versus 4 steps, or 1 versus 3 if you take the because obviously you've got to press the record either way. And of course it's made on exceptional kit, set up and maintained by someone like Tim. And as I say, rest in peace, Tim. God rest his soul. But there we go. It's an incredible release. I didn't know they were going to do this. And I just, there was no question, absolutely no question that I had to get this. And I will be playing it within, well, pretty much as soon as I finish this video, frankly. So, as LP1, so what we got here then, so let's put the phone down there, phone, sheet, LP1. LP2, let's just take it out and have a look. And there's the bottom of the box with another sheet of foam, just to keep everything nice. It really is, you buy this, it will be in beautiful condition for, forever really. And talking about the quality of the vinyl and everything, and these inner sleeves, and even these outers with the, if they had, those sliced away edges. I've got, let me think, one of my earliest Mo-Fis, yes, Close to the Edge, excuse me, Genesis, Trick of the Tail, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Actually, I think I've sold that one because I have actually got a couple. Have I got a couple? No, I've got one now. I've got an original Dark Side of the Moon, which does sound phenomenal. But those Mo-Fis, as I say, I've got quite a few that I've had for 40 years, best part of. And I've got thousands of records that don't get played every week. But they get played, some of them get played, they have been played dozens and dozens of times. And even after all those years, they sound phenomenal. They sound better than, in terms of noise, pops and scratches and things, I've got 40-year-old Mo-Fis or 35-year-old Mo-Fis that sound cleaner and newer than brand new records. It's quite often I'll buy a brand new record, you're playing it, it's like pop, oh, for God's sake, this is really irritating. And it just happens all the time. And with these, they're just so well made. You know, you have to pay for quality. It's how it works. And here we go. Side 3, Cold Shot and Tin Pan Alley, which is just the most mind-blowing song. Dynamic range in it and everything is just, you know, I mean, you can kind of see the music almost. It is so crisp. And then here we are, Honeybee and Stang Swang. Now look at the run-out groove on that side. There's a run-out groove and a half, but it's, you know, that's what you get. You just, you know, it's you know, you'll be up after 5 minutes changing that side, but it will sound bloody incredible. And you know, what more do you want than music that sounds, you know, great music that sounds absolutely incredible? I really don't think you can beat that. So there we are. I don't know how many one of these. I really don't know how many one-steps I've got. I must count them up. And I'm starting to think I need to get more record shelving, because they do take up the space. And I believe we've got Simon and Garfunkel's Still Crazy After All These Years coming next, and oh my God, that will have to be had. What an album! They just keep coming, and frankly, the more I listen to them, the more I just think, well, you know, they're one-off purchases, and buy them and keep them forever and ever, and play them, obviously. So there we go. The latest from David Brooks Mobile. No, it's not David Brooks. From David Brooks MCIU. That's that's where I bought it from. And I do believe he's still got stock. And I do believe the US haven't even got their stock of these yet. That may be out of date information, but as I say, there's only 7,000 for the whole world. That is not many. That really is not many. You know, I'd be surprised if there was more than 50 coming to the UK. I really don't know, but that's purely a guess. But it's just one of those things that, like, if you don't buy it now and you decide you want it, you'll pay a lot more than 160 quid for it. Some of the earlier ones I've mentioned that I haven't got, I've looked online, and yeah, you can find them, but they can be like £400, £500, £600 or more. And they are just, you know, unless they release the master tapes of these as a, you know, I mean, Analog Productions, as I say, they've just done that with a whole bunch of albums, and the Tape Project do it too. But they'll cost a darn sight more than this, a darn sight more. And these are just, you know, apart from tape, this is as good as it's going to get. And it's a fantastic album. Rest in peace, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Rest in peace, Tim DeParavicini. Happy New Year. 2021 can't be, well, it's got to be an upgrade on 2020, I would say. I would think so. Get yourself to mciu.co.uk, and if they've got a copy left, which I'm sure they probably have, I would seriously buy it. And in fact, I'd look out their other titles if they've got any left of other titles on these one-steps, because they are, I mean, they just sell out as soon as I say, the ones that I haven't bought, that I kind of slightly regretted, I can't buy them new now. You know, they're all gone. They're all gone. These 7,000, they will be gone in, I would think, in a month at the very most. And in the UK, well, we won't have 7,000. We might have 50. We might have 100. Well, I can't imagine we'd even have 100. If we've got 50, you know, they could be gone in a week. You fancy it? I would get it. And it is staggering music. And I just can't wait to get this on the turntable. So that's where I should be going now. Thank you very much. Bye for now.